Oh, a lot of
little
smokes
bit
and
to deal with
TPs.
this. Like this Timbersaw is facing up against a couple of disables here and there, but when you look at Bristleback, he's purely physical. Beastmaster is mostly physical, and even Storm Spirit, though he does have some magical components, relies a lot on those right clicks. So reactive armor is just going to be a very, very tough nut to crack. We have seen Complexity in the past, though, deal with Timbersaws pretty effectively. We'll see if they're able to do it now. Z-Freak is going in pretty deep. And MSS is just hiding in the trees. Timbersaw, you traitor. You're supposed to hate trees. You're not supposed to embrace them like that. They're just trying to get a read on some of these lanes, but for the DC side, they will have most of their lanes hidden right now. I mean, they only see the Puck and the Lich. Not really going to be all that much information right now. The Monkey King is going towards that bottom lane. We'll face up against Beastmaster, and I assume that lane is just like 70-30 for the Monkey King. Beastmaster has some answers, but not that many. Fight for the group. They really have to be careful of this, though, because with this tether, with the Quill Spray, that will stack up super high, and they can take one and reactive armors won't work.
Oh, Mason. Goodbye.
Oh, I chose the wrong fight to watch, man.
Yeah, I was watching top, because it's like a Timber versus Bristle. That seems like the more impact, but Mason fed a first blood, and he got a TP, okay, so that's pretty good. Otherwise he would have lost a lot of time, and that's the Lich, you know. Level 1 is like, well, I can right click, but I'm not doing any damage really, and Mason will die because of it. Maybe should have killed boss. I don't think they should have been there, honestly. That's probably the main thing. Limp mid gonna struggle.
A little bit too greedy there. Limp is already going to have a tough time up against that Puck. The matchup is perfectly fine for the Puck. You have the range advantage, you have very comparable damage. Add a Slardar that's hanging around, a Boots first Slardar at that, and with the fact that Limp is most likely just going to be left on an island means that he's going to get very little. Now, it is very hard to like keep control of this lane, so it will still be pushing in. Abed will have to give Limp that experience, but still, it's not safe experience because it's crushed. They have right clicks, they have a little bit of nuking power from the Puck. It takes tower aggro. The Limp will still be under the gun. And again, there's no one to really help out here. Kyle, though, is messing up Moon on the bottom lane. Bane
Limp is
taking up the powerhouses. They are going to still go for Limp.
Oh, Limp?
More right clicks, but the TP is canceled. Limp will go down. As we got ourselves a real faker over in the mid lane. We'll take down Limp and we'll just look to lock down this mid lane.
Who's he fit mid? I didn't catch.
That was
like,
IO that canceled.
Yeah, I think he baited Limp into death, honestly. I think Limp had it under control and then was like, let's kill with a TP, or if I would say it. I think Limp thought he was gonna get support there. Otherwise I think he would have played it a bit differently.
Back right now, and CS-wise is actually still ahead of the Puck. Of course, that kill is to even things out. Against this bottom lane, though, Moo is doing just fine up against this MK of Mason. Yeah, you give him a first blood, but it's definitely not the end of the world. The Bane is to be providing some serious muscle. And up towards top lane, MSS is pretty darn untouchable here. Can't really do a lot of damage. The will always have a lot of armor. And once again, look for Limp. He does have the overload hit. He does have a couple more remnants. Boba maybe turned around upon with Kyle coming in as well. They will not get Limp. Everyone will be defended. Although the orb is going to be thrown out, that will be a really bad orb to jaunt to. They have to let him go.
Yeah, I think this is what I should be doing on C-Freak. I think he needs to help the mid lane now. But top lane is also scary. Chessie could die to Timber if he's left alone. So I think it's pretty hard for C-Freak what to do. He's probably not sure. It feels like he has to help both lanes.
Go back. Being that strength hero with physical damage only up against a Timbersaw, again, should be just a cut and dry lane for MSS up towards top lane. CS-wise is still pretty close, but as you said, like, once level 5, 6 comes up on the Timbersaw, then Chessie is so easy to take down. Despite how tanky a Bristleback may be, he's actually holding on to a skill point right now. Not entirely sure if that's really value, because you kind of do want that additional survivability, but still it is kind of left up here to dry. So at that point, it's like, who's really going to pick up the slack? If Limp's getting crushed over in the mid lane, then is it Blue who has to start picking things up. Like, a Beastmaster can only do so much, especially up against this matchup where he's still not getting the cleanest lane.
Yeah, I think this is like why I favor DC a lot. I think they just have more choice and versatility in both lanes, and also like how strong they are. Like individually, they have very strong heroes in all three core roles and very good support to act on that. Seafreak could still make that work well. Oh, Mason, he has no support. While I was talking about the support, he's out.
You still keep hitting him. He can't jump onto a tree, but he doesn't need to jump onto a tree because the Jingu's stacking up, although the Wild Axe is flying in. Kyle can't really catch him with anything. Here comes Bobo with a haste rune from behind. With a chair and with the stick, they will kill off Kyle.
Kill secure.
In the side, they do see him 1 second off to the crush. Fortunately for Bulba, the cooldown's not cooperating with him there, but this roaming Slardar providing some serious pressure that you can clearly see from complexity can't really be matched. Io doesn't really do that. He defensively helps his allies. He does not go in for ganks, and Vayne kind of the same style.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't know if I would call it bait, but it was nice if it was intentional. Also,
yeah, Abed just straight killed off him. He just cut the coil and bursted him down. Thought the Storm would be fine if he just kept his
I mean, I
distance,
see
but
report people made from complexities. I'm not expecting Lim to die.
this game is falling apart already. Like, it's 5 minutes in and we have upwards of a 2k lead for DC. The net worth is all red on top for the Dire side, and it doesn't look like it's really going to change anytime soon. Like, yeah, you get a big buff in power when you have Roar, when you have Grip, when you have Relocate, but can you actually kill off these enemy DC heroes with that? Like, maybe you can kill off this Monkey King, you can kill off Bulba if he's in a bad spot, but Puck and MSS, they seem like invulnerable in this game.
Yeah, I mean, MSS has almost reached its invulnerability, I think, in this
it's
lane.
Kyle! It is gonna get the brain sap, but Faker showing off in the mid lane. He phase shifts to cancel the brain sap animation and tried to sneak in that last right click. It was close. But Puck has still got this lane on lock. He's level 7. What do you have on the other cores? Level 5 on the Storm? That's good enough, man.
Yeah, it's very rough. He has to do this now. At least they stacked a bit for him. I don't know if they've stacked a ton, but a little bit. MSS now though reached this like laning peak in a way where I doubt he will die unless they make a huge rotation. Even then the heroes aren't good at dealing with him. Ooh, he's actually pretty low. Does Bobo see him? No, that's not how it works. He's getting there though. Oh,
Moo's just not reacting. He's just standing still. Now this is a very tanky hero. The Beastmaster.
I think he will survive. I'm pretty sure he will, but he has to try.
And now Bulba will be fine as well. No rotations coming in. Shrine is at 100%. But still, that's like a Shrine forced out. Just one hero. In the meantime, they're scrambling for answers versus this Puck. We do see complexity starting to get some big ancient value, though.
Yeah, this
is. Be
is.
careful up against the stack of prowlers. This is, as you said, usually how this.
Oh, MSS is pretty close. Do they have vision of it?
Well, they don't need
Oh
vision.
my god.
Or vision. I guess you can call it like that.
Yeah, I kind of have to question that though. I think it's maybe inexperience, as in they play IO tiny, and then they like. You should definitely have a salve ready for IO there, because you should know that bottom lane actually did cut the tree while Mason jumped down though, so he might survive for quite some time.
Nightmare gonna prevent those Jingu stacks from stacking up. He will get it in the end, but
god, what a
literally
bait.
all of complexity are here now. Him using a lot of his mana pool to jump forward. We'll find nobody. That is not that bad for DC. Like, yeah, losing Mason is not ideal, but to rotate the entirety of the enemy team for that, that's just fine. MSS is still just chugging along, looking for that Bloodstone build-up.
I don't know if Moose cut the tree with Iron Talon or he used Wild Axes. Mason jumped down and got. That was pretty funny to watch. Jesse is not gonna take any shit from anyone here down here. He is very fast. Actually, I haven't pushed enough for. We see that DC are doing very well. Jesse is the one that's kinda up there, but Faker is doing extremely well. Or Abed. I think I should stop following the chat.
We saw this before. This time there is help
Yeah.
with the orb. Volva still has not died, which is pretty impressive, honestly, for these position 4 Slardars. Like when you're running around with sprint all the time, when you're always just wandering into the fog. Usually.
Yeah, I think Timber is in a weird way quite similar to like a Brood, where he just takes a lane and stands there and pushes, even though it's a lot slower, but he doesn't really die.
Welcome to the lane, Chessie. Teleports in immediately at half HP.
Radiant's middle tower is under
He
attack.
still throws a mech as well, so that's a pretty... I think a lot of the time mech on Timber isn't good, or on Bristle isn't good, but with IO it kinda works. The Abed has almost taken down the mid tower as a puck.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pretty impressive versus when he played against a Storm that had an IO kind of off rotate, I think.
That Veil also is usually going to be fairly safe versus a puck. The only exception is unless you get bursted down. And with this Veil and of course the maxed out Rift and the Orb, it is very feasible to see the puck just set up with a little bit of right click, soften, and then just jump in for that insta kill. Especially if it has a double damage ring, that certainly doesn't hurt. So this mid lane is all in control of this puck. This Bristleback farm is still the highest of complexity, but you can see he has no game up against this MSS Timbersaw. Quills are doing like active.
Yeah, I mean it's Timber in laning is pretty strong. Beast is going ahead of Dominator, which is interesting. I see it every now and then. Not it used to be a thing, you know, when Helm Dominator was still a good item, but it's kind of been nerfed a bit too much, maybe. I mean, there's a new patch coming somewhat soon, hopefully we'll see that again. But not sure if it's a specific reason. I can come up with one, but meanwhile, Chessie might go down. They are making a huge rotation to kill MSS though.
Radiant's bottom tower
Much
is
damage
under
they
attack.
actually do. 20 stacks is reactive. Have a brain stack to seal the deal, and they'll get him.
Radiant's
Mostly
bottom
that
tower
Bane's
has fallen.
damage with the grip, and the fact that coming in, the Chain Frost is out. There are lots of things to bounce it to. Onto Chessie, back towards the boar, back towards Moo. Faker has already used most of his damage. He's going to have to bottle up and wait for a couple more cooldowns before they can continue this. It is a one-for-one trade that Complexity are going to be kind of happy with, but at the same time, they are going to lose
Radiant's
control of the bottom lane now. Just this game of whack-a-mole for Complexity is not being played as they don't have enough hammers. They will find Moon though. They will bring him down. MSS is back.
Oh, DD on Abed.
Oh god, there's still double
I
damage.
think T-Brig is dead.
And they'll need
Kill
it.
secure.
Stick.
That's a good that's a good forced rotation from Seafreak though. That most every core is on top lane right now, so you know that's space for sure. And I think Helm Dominator, if he might be looking to try and get a Satyr and purge the spells from Lich. That makes some sense. Unless they want to go for a very heavy push on Volva. Good dodge from them, dodging the Sparta-stun.
Down the Slardar.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Can definitely afford these losses. A Lich to die here, a Slardar to die there. Not really the end of the world. What level is Moon at anyways? Level 7 has that tome to give to someone.
Radiant's
Not
top
himself,
tower
but,
has
we'll see
been
what
denied.
creep the Beastmaster is going to try to focus on. Purge is also really good at dealing with that sort of phase of Slardar.
Dyer's bottom tower is
Right now,
under
though, he'll
attack.
take the Big Daddy Satyr.
Yeah, I think this is what you do for now.
So,
I think this is I like this item a lot personally, and I think it's gonna be really good this game. It depends a lot on how they play around it though. As in, like, are they pushing a lot? Then it makes some sense. I don't know if it has another real purpose. But, I mean, I always like seeing this item, so I'm happy about it.
Maybe with a more traditional medallion into like Link Dagger, Necro Book type of thing with Beastmaster, like you can go for that solo kill
Radiant
power,
are
but
scanning.
we already established that actually killing these heroes off is so difficult that going for this different style of Beastmaster play is
Dyer's
maybe
top
going to give them a
tower is
little bit
under
more of an
attack.
edge. They're thinking about going for the Beastmaster with the smoke.
Big smoke, yeah.
Turn 180 and go back towards mid. If they kept on going for bottom, they could have killed him. Unfortunately for DC, decided on the wrong thing. They will still find Kyle. He's going to maybe set up for kill. He's going to be really quickly punished if he does do so. Bulba poked out a little bit, but I don't think that was in vision range. Otherwise, the Bane would be falling back right now. Still going to back off, though, and that's smoke. Unfortunately,
Jesse.
lucky. So, work out on Jesse.
He just ran past on.
Dire's top tower is under
There is a grip here, but Abed is a blink dagger. Top lane was pushing the entire time. Limp does have stack up here of this IO. Relocate out. Be careful about this oil plate. He's going to try to burst him down. He's going to get really far away. Zfreak doesn't have tether range. Although Limp will be able to get out. Do they even know that IO relocated there? It doesn't seem like they do, so IO should be just fine. In the meantime, bottom lane and mid lane, it seems like Complexity starting to regain at least some semblance of control in their lane. At least they can go in and farm without dying, which is not exactly anything to write home about, but hey, it's better than before.
They're forcing some rotations, but they're not getting like objective damage, so... Bulba is closing in on the blink pretty fast, honestly. 15 minutes. Lara is one of the heroes that have trouble getting blink in a good timing. He kind of needs to get space and get it by farming. But he's doing a good job so far. He's gonna pick it up within a minute if he doesn't die. The Moo has been catching up very nicely as well. I think I've seen him here on bottom lane for quite some time farming with his remote dominator. So he's definitely farming at a pretty good speed. And not getting tower damage though, which is what you want to do with Beast. But I mean, if you're controlling the wave and getting the jungle, you're okay with that.
Maxed out aura at this point. So this creep and the creep wave is doing some pretty serious damage. Like just looking at this catapult, look at it go, man. And Invoker, Alacrity, eat your heart out. Of course, this will be constantly defended by DC, at least it looks like it'll be constantly defended. They are going to defend it. They will struggle to actually stop it.
Courier
forward. That's
Abed.
a dead courier.
I think it's dead, yeah.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
That's a good play. And they are hunting for Moo. Yeah, he's out. Keeping close to Abed. Are they gonna go for a push mid? I think most of DC has TP, so yeah, everyone has TP. And he just picked up the blink on Florida. This could be pretty scary. They don't know this yet. They could bait with, like, put a hero in front that will get Bane Grip and then just counter it.
They saw Bulba, I think, with that Hawk, but it was only for a split second, so they may not have had enough time to register that blink dagger. So they're jumping towards base up towards top lane right now. And then only a half-hearted attempt there for Complexity. And get this Storm Spirit out of there. Will get, obliterated. He's super dead. But now they're on Kyle. Warp through. He's surrounded and dropped. Two supports going down here for Complexity. These are acceptable losses again as long as their heroes are farming in Chessie and Moo. They are indeed getting a lot of gold in the meantime, but this style of kind of get pick off with the roar, with the grip, doesn't seem like it's actually working out too well yet. Complexity, they still have a little bit more time to get that set up, and they will smoke in.
Chessie is taking a big
He's taking a lot of damage from these ancients, but he's also clearing them out pretty rapidly, and the smoke's just heading in the wrong direction. They're not
looking for Moo
there, so they're going to go for the hero that's presenting himself in the Beastmaster.
They
should have
he seems dead.
Blink Crush with the Chain Frost. He's dead.
Yeah, Chessie cleared a stack though at the same time, which I mean is about the same. I would say he got more gold than DC got there, but you're stopping. You know, this tower is 75% HP, and there's been a Beastmaster on this lane for more than 5 minutes, I think. So you know that's not how it normally looks. But I think
Complexity is gonna get chopped down. Oh, 4 seconds ball lightning stun.
Is under attack.
Oh, they need to finish him.
Not dead yet.
Oh my god.
Boundless strike. Are you kidding me? No way. 4 seconds is still not enough. They do get the grip off onto the Slaughter, keep him out of the fight. And the rotations coming out from DC are kind of few and far between as Abed is stuck on the bottom lane. But you find a jump on a Monkey King like that, you should be able to kill him.
Yeah, I think they messed up there. They might have felt like they would die if they committed, but in hindsight they should have. I think they should almost do it. They had a relocate out, I think. Yeah, they had a relocate out ready.
Right. Don't be.
Stay.
You might wish
That's not express TP. That's slow TP. Level 1 maybe. Express TP. Well, he's dead. Now the bottom lane kind of lost control here for the complexity side. They are also not actively pushing out the mid lane nor the top lane. They're getting to it. They're just not there just yet. Complexity at this point won't really have their strength working with them. Will lose probably this tower. Ice armor, Echo Saber on the Monkey King. There's not much that a Beastmaster can do here except for no wild access to aggro, but even that's not even a safe play. Revealing yourself to mean that there's a coil in your face soon.
Oh, Slara looking for Chesty. This seems pretty far though. Yeah, he's just walking. Limp almost got the bottle, and Bristle has his core item. I'm looking for a Lotus. This is kind of how I like Bristleback to play. Maybe he could have waited with the pipe and went Lotus first, I think is what I would have done, or what I like to do. But this is definitely an okay build in my opinion. Limp on top lane.
Top lane, Limp is going to get yanked out. Io should be in a little bit of trouble here, but so
is
meanwhile
in mid lane.
This hit with the grip from Kyle will be dropping. Io actually relocated towards mid. He's going to try for the frame perfect TP. It was close. He's going to end up in the Monkey King ultimate. I'm not really sure if the Io deserved that. But this is going to be a 1-for-1 exchange, and how Complexity feeling pretty comfortable to keep on going. So not really sure if they should. There's no real initiation here from DC, but they will still throw out the Chain Frost on the chest. The barrier goes up. Slap Techno gets some pure damage. Now Abed's going to join in on the front. That's 12 damage on this Bristleback. Just not enough, and now it's only MSS doing any damage. The rest of the allies are gone. Where do they go? Can somebody help this Timbersaw because he's roared. He's in a lot of trouble right now. Suicide is not going to get it off.
Complexity playing so well.
Really, what happened there from DC? They just didn't have people, I guess. Monkey King didn't have a TP.
I mean, I think Complexity are just starting to play really well right now. I didn't expect MSS to die there, and I think the Medallion, he wasn't expecting that minus armor to come in and do so much. And that relocate save also earlier on Storm was so clutch. Mid lane, Kylie's gonna get jumped. This is quite desperate. Could turn the other way. No grip though.
They're just gonna drag back to sleep. We'll be fine. It does feel like these fights are working out really well for Complexity because they're taking it when DC like teleport out for one of their heroes, or for whatever reason the heroes on DC aren't there as spies. I don't know if we can call that like a good fight from DC, or a good fight for Complexity, or just like a bad set of teleportation management from DC, but either way, if they keep doing that, if they keep finding these advantageous numerical positions, have more heroes, then this is where Complexity's draft really starts to take off. This is where like Io and Bane in particular are absolute powerhouses.
Yeah, I think I didn't expect Bane to be this high level at this point, honestly. I mean, Seafreak isn't doing too well, but he's doing good enough. And Abed picked up a Lincoln's, but it's also relatively easily blocked by... I mean, it's Bristleback who can block it, or remove it rather. And then if they react properly, they could burst him after that. MSS got 8 Bloodstone charges, which is not the dream either, after picking it up relatively recently. The Necro soon on move as well, that's a pretty huge item. Really good against, especially the Timber, I think, just draining his mana.
Lots of unwieldy damage from DC that is coming off those Necro units. Last Will is definitely the ability you have to use often against Abed. We'll see Chesty and Volva is going to charge right in, get the crush. They're again going for the Bristleback. Incredibly tanky.
Oh, Mason dead on the side.
Mason on top lane. This is turning this around. There's a Chain Frost here, so they're going to split up a little bit, but this is just 2 heroes for Complexity, driving everyone from DC back while they get kills, while they get split farm. This is not how DC ended up winning this game. They need to switch things up just a little bit here, because that was...
Bottom lane, they're setting up to kill move.
They're going to dive right in. Abed is here as well. This combo is good. He will get the roar out. Can he TP? Can he turn? I think he's going to try to run. There's another crush here. He will go down. We'll finally take down something, DC. But again, as soon as you moved in with those heroes in the bottom lane, then Chessie and Kyle start pushing in towards mid, and Complexity are starting to really get their kind of mobility act together, especially Limp, who at this point forces Bloodstone charges. Once it gets this Orchid, it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with or without G3.
Yeah, I was surprised that they managed to kill Mason with Storm not even having the Orchid yet. But Complexity is doing a pretty incredible comeback, and it looks so simple as well. You know, that's what I'm really impressed about. It's not like one huge team fight. They just, you know, getting closer and closer to DC all the time. The Bane is trying to initiate on Nemesis, I think, but it's harder to do than I think. Volba, he hasn't really progressed after this either. I think he might need a secondary item before they can really come online, or at least levels. I think it's maybe even more important, so that they actually have kill potential on the cores.
It doesn't seem like he's been able to find the right crushes and the right targets. Most of them, I mean, he went towards the bottom lane, got to kill him with the Beastmaster, that's not bad, but landing a crush on an IO should be like an easy kill. A Bane should be a pretty fast kill as well, but it just always seems like the positioning for Complexity is such that Chessie is in the front lines,
Oh, top lane, they're hunting pretty aggressively.
You can crush a Storm, but you can't kill him afterwards. Volba, not spotted, will blink up, blind into the IO, will find him. Freak is with Relocate right now, gets cashed. And with the Corrosive Haze, it should be swatted down, yes, by Mason's rotation in. Lose Freak as Complexity, or DC rather. They do get pretty much the ideal situation for accelerating the Storm. Gotta look for those easy pick off, like Crush and Corrosive Haze.
Pretty clutch blink. Limp was just, he actually stand the right click on Volba to stop that blink, but he blinked right in time. And Mu is starting to get scary as well. He got the Boar Summoned talent, which is pretty great. You see four boars here. My bad. And he has the Echo 1 going up blink. I think this is kind of a newer build, or like people don't like upgrading Echo until later on nowadays.
Take a look at the scaling. It's not any huge leap forward from the other level. It's a very linear scaling item.
Yeah, it's like either you have one or you have three, because the second one is useless, kind of like that.
Well, it feels useless.
Yeah.
But it's like, in actuality, it's not actually any worse that by a huge margin or anything like that. They'll relocate for bottom lane. Top some trees, tapes the orb down. Abed did not jaunt to it though, so he's like pretty tricky, but still like a big hit from that ball lightning. Limp's not that much mana. Abed's gonna blink out one more time. Heroes are chasing in for Moon in the meantime.
Oh god, he took Limp back.
Moon in a little bit of trouble. Lincoln
He
is going to be absorbing the roar. No, not quite. Now he's got to deal with Mason.
Oh god, what a disaster.
Top lane. Actually, MSS receives the relocate back, ends up killing both of them. So DC, they lose the Lich, but are able to keep Abed alive just with some smooth moves. Volba is going to survive as well.
Pretty well played by DC. They set up on the relocate back. I don't think they really expected Limp to be brought there. So they got that kill was pretty close though. Limp tried to TP out, but didn't manage to. And then, you know, Mason comes down bottom, cleans up there, and then Complexity managed to kill Lich in mid lane, I think, with they didn't use Phoenix Grips, but it was, I think it was Sashay and Kyle doing it together. But that was like nothing in comparison to what DC got there.
Abed being so tricky and difficult to actually pin down. Like, he already is just inherently a hero that's difficult to deal with. Add a Lincoln Spear on top of that, and the fact that Complexity don't have any, well, at least with the heroes that were there, any like trash spells to throw in and pop that Lincoln, is that blocking him down, killing him off, very, very difficult. Now that they do have the Orchid and the pullback on the Storm with the Electric Vortex, they will have at least a chance to deal with that puck in the future. Right now they have their eyes set on something else, somewhere else. There's a dire scan. Will just turn red. That will keep them safe. Or at least
bottom lane though, it's revealing this. No one's defending bottom, so it's pretty obvious what's happening.
Bottom tower is under attack.
MSS is kind of frontline tank it. They managed to de-ward though. This is getting pretty intense. There is a shrine up for DC.
rush. Takes quite a bit of damage here from the Timbersaw. As well as that Monkey King already got half HP. They're going to jump in and try to take down Bulba. In the meantime, they won't be able to do that either. So they'll take down Zeke as Vigor does jump in. As he's still holding his ground right now, but in the Wukong command, can't really get that much done. Kyle now is going to be gone by Mason. Should be dealt with by the Monkey King. They also take down for this Beastmaster. Already used his ward. Payload has pretty much entirely been used, and now he's going to get squashed by the jump in for the Monkey King. DC fight near their shrine and end up winning. What a surprise. Shrines are really powerful, turns out, and that's going to set up immediately for a Roche. Roche Haze is unfortunately not going to stick initially, but he'll be able to get 4 nil and a Roshan afterwards. That's a massive win for DC.
Yeah, what a nice fight for DC. I thought they were gonna make a mistake by focusing Sessi because he's the tankiest one, but then like it's almost like Deepik died as collateral when they tried to kill the Bristle. Because MSS just jumped through the Bristle and bursted him, and then like, oh, there's an IO there that died while I did it. It was pretty rough to see that Deepik just like, oh, I just died that easily. And then when he dies, the Bristle becomes easy to kill after. And, it looks hard for Complexity. I don't know how they will play it now, because that was a very one-sided fight, and I don't know if they can take much better ones either. Kind of catching some off heroes. It was a good counter by DC, but still.
Also, like, what Complexity's draft is the weakest at. They don't really have that team fight power. A lot of single target focus, but you can't really focus down heroes one at a time when everyone from DC is there. When there's a Chain Frost, the Timbersaw in your face, obviously Coil in there, as well as the Wukong's command. So it did seem like for Complexity, they were only hoping for one guy, and they found way too much. You're finding that one guy, who spotted out by Bulba, tries to TP out. There's a Boundless Strike here. They'll quickly do him in, as well as his creeps. They'll all fall. I mean, that's Complexity walking into a scenario where their heroes just aren't strong, and DC's heroes are amazing. Plus around the front, so I feel like if don't do that, if you try to stay separated.
Oh, Bulba? Or he's just baiting?
Towards Bulba. He is silenced right now, but with this health, he for a very long time. Chainsaw now going to start bouncing through the takedown pile, and it's still bouncing. Limp getting destroyed by this. Now here comes the DC support. Jesse will get left behind. Boundless Strike is there as well. Take down the Storm Spirit. The yank out from the IO will end up saving that Bristleback, but I don't think the IO has much of a chance here unless he gets that frame perfect TP. We just try for it.
Yeah, Complexity is trying to kind of take another team fight, even though it wasn't intended to be a team fight. I think it's gonna be they need to realize now, or I think they have realized. It's not like they need to realize. They realize they can't really fight DC anymore. But they're not strong enough to split push either. They don't have like any real damage. Jesse is gonna get jumped. He is very tanky, but he is completely alone. Moon is low though.
Almost taking quite a bit of damage here. Gets the growth and reflect on him. Maybe he'll just get 1-1, but indeed Jesse will fall from Bulba. Or the
He's pretty low mana.
Completely okay with them, and Limp will get juiced back up to a decent amount of mana. He's the shrine here though.
Oh, these two are completely alone.
Get away with it. Boundless Strike is going to catch onto 2, letting Mason away with that invis. He'll find the Timbersaw off to the side. The damage is going to come in with the crit, but the Wukong's command will destroy the Bane, and Mojo will go down, but Abed going to land a really nice foil in the middle of 3. Zikri will be still alive actually. The Chain Frost is thrown in towards Blue instead. We'll get Mason a double step all set down. Rift's gonna try to race for Abed. The rest of his mana to get out of there should be fine. And Abed is a dual scepter, blade forward, silence onto the IO. Not quite enough damage, but they will actually get it in the end. He's gonna right click there. Limp doesn't have a back to the high ground. Now will miss from Mason. And I think that means Limp survives as he gets towards another shrine, gets more mana, and will, yes, get back to safety or not. Jumping in for Abed, we'll try for it, but what a time to miss Boundless Strike. That could have definitely made the difference there. And oh my god, Abed is level 25.
Yeah, in the middle of the fight. he got it in the middle of fight, and then he killed the Illusion Orb. This time, like, he just see this orb flying around at massive speed. It was pretty... I think that might have been like kind of a panic click. Like he's like, oh, I can get another kill if I skill this up. And then it's like, oh, maybe I should have went GPN talent now in hindsight. But I think it might not matter that much. He is very farmed and he's gonna get 6-started at a decent rate either way. They're looking to kill Limp. Mason got the silver edge, so he can kind of set this up.
Silence in a corner, and they need a balance strike to land this time. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, they got him. They got him. They're also looking for maybe Chessie on this bottom lane. Well, actually, we'll head in the opposite direction, going in towards mid, where Kyle's main is more vulnerable. The Hawk is going to see them, but it's a little bit too late for that, because he's already well initiated on. E3 can move. Left behind here. At least the Io will be. Boba with the crush in 2 seconds. He won't have the blink. He already used it. And it goes in, although it's already in. Abed, what you doing? Now crush onto 2. Chain Frost is out as well. The barrier does go up. The creeps are absorbing a lot of this damage. They're only focusing onto the smart. That's perfectly fine for Boba, because here comes the Wukong's command. In the enemy tier 3, but they still have tier 2 to deal with. DC just disrespecting complexity at this point, will finally move back and take down the tier 2, but this lead is becoming more and more difficult to actually deal with, as there's no one for complexity to defend this, and their ability to challenge this full 5-man push is almost non-existent.
I mean, the net worth graph has kind of exceeded expectations now for DC. They are very far ahead in net worth, and no, it was looking okay for complexity for a while, but they dropped. I feel like it's lacking quite a lot, as in they can't split push and force DC. They had some very nice pickoff, and Kyle seems to be looking, but he's not gonna find anything. Yeah, they were like split pushing a bit and also getting some kills, but they had no tower damage or any objective damage really. It's supposed to be on the beast, or they are smoked, the rest of them.
Mason already used his silver edge, so he couldn't break him.
Yeah, but they're lacking like real tower damage. Just 18
Oh,
that's a huge kill.
Going off.
Oh, what a big kill.
Would have been there, but Kyle's going to unfortunately.
Oh, Kyle got, yeah, that's very unfortunate. That would have been a huge kill for him. He would have. Oh, are they gonna find him as well? Really get in. I think this might be a good base from complexity.
God,
never mind.
Whirling death combo from Mojo just annihilated that Io first thing, and now complexity don't have any more gas. No one's staying in this fight. Basically going to deploy the monkey squad onto Chessie with the pure damage of MSS. Will slaughter another one. Move is well visioned up, although he will have a blink dagger. Somehow he got that off, but he actually. Oh my god, no, he cannot survive. That's a corrosive haze, boundless strike. Is he level 25? He is, but he didn't even have the crit leveled up with that talent. I mean, BC, they lose the puck, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay with it. The Isle literally got like 100-0'd by the Timbersaw in like half a second. That was disgusting.
Yeah, that was very rough. I thought they were gonna bait here, and the Storm is gonna tank. Then the relocate comes in, he petters the Storm, gives him mana. Meanwhile, Bristleback is unkillable, but Bristleback went down pretty fast with the pretty sick chain frost on the relocating people, as in Io and Bristol, and Io died instantly, and Bristol lost at least half his HP within a second, with MSS damage added in there as well.
He's just gonna chill out and wait for another rotation. Again, split pushing these lanes for complexity, that's really where they're at their strongest. Don't really see that happening just yet. They don't have the heroes alive right now, and sooner or later DC are going to look for that next Roche whenever it's up, which is going to be in 2 minutes. Pretty long spawn time here for DC to wait, but the fact that they're getting all these pickoffs, the fact that they're really limiting the complexity farm rate, I'm sure they'll be fine with this, because they're still getting all these opportunities, and as long as Abed is still keeping himself safe, particularly versus the Bane, then the rest of the DC heroes can just wander around and just do this, lock down the entirety of the map. Though they are spotted by the bird.
That is a very good ward in the bottom lane to help Abed here as well, so he doesn't die. Meanwhile, top tower is being taken down somewhat slowly against backdoor, but the creeps have arrived. Oh, they're smoking to catch them bottom. This, if it's fast enough. Oh, he's gonna break Mason. Yeah, he did.
He did. Mason though is gonna jump away.
That might reveal the. Oh, he has this. He's the one with the invest though, so it's harder to detect him. They kinda sense it though. Let's see if they
No
catch
vision in
that.
this area. Bulba is going to jump in along with Abed. They find the Io and they find the Bane at the exact same time. Bulba's going to get pulled back in from Limp, but my god, the damage from that Bounce Strike is huge with the new challenge. Kyle's going to try to TP out. It looks like he is going to get Yules out of it, as they also chase after Limp. Is out of mana in the trees, is going to go down 3-0 for the DC squad. As that was some picture-perfect initiation between Abed and Bulba. That's going to be pretty much all the mobility, all the split push power of Complexity taken off the board. And now DC, they don't really have to wait for that, they don't have to wait for that Roshan. What is it? They're trying to clean out these Tinker Wars? Yeah, sure. They don't have to wait for Roshan, they can just go in and start punching those towers.
They don't have the highest tower damage themselves, but Monkey King is so far, he's probably gonna do a pretty high amount of damage on these towers now. When the creeps decide to arrive, they are dewarding right now, so they're taking a bit longer time than normal. Abed is pushing it in as well. Are they gonna bait? Seems like it. They want this game to continue. I think they don't really need to push high ground, especially, you know, against a Storm who can jump in, do a ton of damage, then even die, buy back into it again, and you could get wiped from that. And it's pretty scary. You want to be a bit careful about something like that.
Maybe get an additional item, like as a full health store item, and you know, maybe an item that brings you back from the dead. This
Yeah,
would be
that's
pretty powerful item as far as pushing up the high ground. DC are going to get right to work on that one.
Yeah,
Hey,
fortunately
look at
there
that.
is...
So they'll have exactly those items. There's no way in hell they'll be able to get over there and contest this. So Monkey King gets the double life
top lane.
and the cheese, and more importantly, perhaps they have an angle here onto this bristleback. There is going to be an IO in the trees. I don't think was spotted by anything there. Tessie though just going to walk out of there. That Chain Frost.
They found
They'll also
Deep
find the IO. Bulba doing his due diligence, kills off the tree.
I think that's like the fourth time he ran, or like, predict blinks on the IO this game, or he scan. I didn't really catch it. Guess it's too hard to dive on, so they want to be careful about that. But
That's going to catch a couple with the damage. It's going to go towards the Timbersaw mostly. The Puck does jump in and interrupt that. Now the Wukong is just going to go to town versus Jesse. Beats him down. Even had the double life. Still has that ultimate. Sun Wukong in the house for real now. He is probably going to lose his life, but no, Bubba with a clutch stun onto 2 will get Mason and Mojo out of there. Easily past the Timbersaw, letting them continue this engagement if they choose to do so. But ultimately, that is going to be the Bristleback buyout force and the Bane to be taken down. DC, do they have a live shrine here? Yeah, they do. So it's time to juice back up to full. Or near full, at least. They're just winning engagement after engagement with really no contest.
yeah, I think this is a bit of a draft issue from Complexity, where they have like no team fight, and DC has a lot, and they are very far ahead, so it's even harder because of that. DC are fighting against a high ground, and they can't launch Jesse. They can go, but they won't kill him, I think. The boundless strike is scary though, because if I were like, oh, I want to help Jesse, and then like boundless strikes from 1000 range hits him, he's dead. I think it one-shots him, unless if he has Spectre active, maybe not.
It's gonna be doing some damage. How much? Okay, he's got 3.
He did 1.1 there.
16 armor. Yeah, Z-Freak actually has quite a bit of physical resist.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Belly Fury in his inventory either, Mason, because he has the Aegis, so that's like 200 less damage. I think he survived.
Like, yeah, he doesn't get one shot. Because that's something really great to celebrate. They'll just deploy the Monkey Squad. Now, in from Lynch, it's going to start to go towards Monkey King, but in his circle, he is rather doing physical damage. And now the Coil Chain Frost doing quite a bit of damage here. With the Bristleback and the Storm just sticking out of the fight. We'll have additional time to restore as DC will fall back after having taken that tier 3 tower. Perhaps not quite the extent of what they really wanted, but hey, now the shrines are open. They still have Aegis. They should still have cheese. Yeah, they do, so they still have people.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to kill the shrines now, which is the main objective, I think, of for now. And I think they're gonna go for a secondary push a bit later.
Spotted by Limp, and we'll get forced out.
Limp get forced.
So Limp is gonna get chased. will take down the Limp. But is going to find Moo and out of focus fire as Mason, oh my god, gets a full restore thanks to the Boundless Strike with the Jingu. They find Kyle with the Purge. They'll take him down as well. Z-Freak off on the side will relocate back to the base, leaving Limp here alone, but Limp is fine.
That's gonna be game.
That's gonna call GG. Jeez, I mean, that's a bad focus. He's 26k net worth. He will destroy you. He never really got that 80.
Yeah, with the level 25 talent on Boundless Strike, I mean, I thought that was like, okay, Moo has high